All right, let's start at the beginning. This is a 5. This is the 5 of Pentacles, and the 5s are always challenges. Always, always challenges, because you're in the middle of whatever issue that you are working on. I call this the old broken alone. So it does feel like you've been working and working and working towards something and not really having much success. So it does feel like you're kind of losing the faith a little bit, but keep going. It does feel like, you know, this open window here is lighting up for me. So you are setting the play, you're setting the stage for what needs to happen next. It does look like you're doing a little bit of catch up. This can be on the money, on the money zone. But it does feel like you either got a new job or a promotion or something that is bringing in a little bit more money, and you're playing catch up. So you're not kind of to the flush situation or station right now. So you are playing a little catch up. So don't be discouraged. Don't be discouraged. Just keep going. It does look like you had to walk away from something from the past. This either is a relationship or how the relationship functioned. This could be a job. This can be anything that brought you great joy from the past that no longer worked. This can be a relationship space. This can be a job. But it does look like you had to walk away from things that were comfortable in the past and familiar to walk into the unknown. This moon is lighting up for me too. So there's some creative endeavors coming from the inside going to the outside. So you may be, this new endeavor may include some kind of creative process or artwork of some kind. But it does feel like you've had to walk away from the norm. The norm is what I'm getting. So maybe corporate America you've walked away from and started doing things on your own, or consulting, something like that. So it does look like the normal way of doing things was not available to you, and that you have taken on a different path than what others do around you. Okay, the Empress is here, and she's there because she's fertile. She's fertile ground. This could mean your body. This can be the actual ground. This can be the idea space. So it does look like you're taking some of these great ideas and manifesting them or projecting them into the physical realm. This can be anything from gardening to actually creating a baby yourself. So if you don't want to do that, I would take those precautions. But it does feel like the groundwork has been laid and things are ripe for planting. Whatever projects that you're doing now require your attention, just like a newborn baby. They require a lot of attention in the beginning to nurture, to get those roots established and stabilized. So it does feel like this new endeavor that you're doing, you're having to do a little extra legwork on it. And just like a mama with a baby bird, you have to feed it for a while until it can feed itself. So it does look like your focus has shifted from more of a balance of work and home to a lot more work right now. But this is only temporary while you lay the groundwork for this. Temperance is here. This is reminding you to keep your balance. Don't be so hard on yourself. This does feel like it pertains to you in general, that you're very self-critical. You can also be very critical of others. So be kind to yourself while you're in the learning stage. Don't be so hard on yourself. Give yourself a break. This orange triangle is lighting up for me. So it does feel like you have been healing your heart, or you're in the process of healing your heart, or beginning to heal your heart. It is in the past position. So most likely you're in the beginning or the middle of the process of healing your heart and collecting information. It does look like some of this change was spurred on by some anger and frustration, but that does look like it's behind you now, and that you are finding the balance in your world. It does look like you're trying to find the balance between family, between work, and personal pleasure as well. So, and it does look like you are achieving that balance one at a time. But you know, this is when the plate is too full. So take one thing at a time until you resolve it, until it is done. And it does look like you're simplifying things. It does look like you're also incorporating you as a spirit a little bit more. You're not just the physical body, not just the lower levels of things, that you have reignited some of your passion in your own creative essence, in your own sexuality. It does look like things were dormant on that creative level and the sex level for a minute, but it does look like you're rising your crown a little bit. So you're opening up the possibilities for your sexuality and your creative essence. So you're incorporating that a little bit more. The King of Cups is here. Cups are water signs. These can be a Cancer, a Scorpio, or a Pisces. It doesn't necessarily mean it's in a male body. Usually when the cups show up, that's all about feelings. It's all about having a feel. And these kings are here to tell you to keep things in your love space in integrity. You know, cups are very, very intuitive, trustworthy, as well as they're into the culture and the arts. And this also can represent good fortune. But it does feel like there is a little bit of balance that you're trying to achieve with a water sign. This feels like it's in the love realm. This is in the relationship space. So you may be going through a little mucky waters right now with your partner, Leo, or making some changes within it. But it does feel like there is some focus on relationship space and really changing the things that haven't worked for you in quite a while, speaking your truth with love and integrity, and taking into account making your words strong but loving is what I'm getting. Strong and loving. And it does feel like you may have to float for a while to make these big changes, but it's time to communicate. If you'd like to bring things up into integrity, if you'd like to make some changes within your relationship, and this can be a love relationship, this can be a family relationship, or either a relationship with yourself, Leo. But it does feel like there is a water sign involved, maybe even more than one, and it feels like trying to find the balance. The 3 is here, the 3 of Swords. This is the heart betrayal card. It can stand for an affair, either yours or someone else's, or even harsh words or betrayal of the heart of some kind. You know, this can be a manipulative friend. This can be someone that promised you something and reneged on it all of a sudden. And but it does look like you got your feelings hurt, or you hurt somebody else's feelings. And, you know, part of this being in integrity is changing this and speaking your truth. This may be the energy that's left from the past, bringing a hurt into the present time. So you can resolve it and you can change it. You know, we can't change much from status quo. Sometimes you got to bring in the big feel. So that's what this feels like. It does feel like some kind of lying or manipulation on one of the other's parts will be uncovered. And once it is uncovered, you'll be able to deal with it. There is another 3, so it does look like mind, body, and spirit are kind of beckoning you. Here's another 3, a 3, a 3. So it does look like trying to find your balance, trying to find your grounding within mind, body, and spirit, honoring all parts of that. This is the fun part. This is the joyful part. This is the 3 of Cups, so it does look like making time to really enjoy yourself, not just doing the work, not just doing the responsibilities, but really creating that wonderful, sacred, joyful space. And this may be within your relationship. Maybe you have not had the time to really nurture that relationship, and it's starting to show the effects of neglect. So it's time to create a wonderful, joyful place where you can come together and just celebrate life, unconditional love, just get out there and play a little bit. is what it feels like. And the play card is right underneath the drudgery card. So I'd say yes, that validates it. It does feel like your plate is much, much fuller than it has been in a number of months. You may have had a little bit more fluidity in your life. And it does feel like now it's time to get down and gritty. Now it's time to really do those things you've put off for quite a while. Your plate is really full. You're trying to do it all at one time. Just pick one thing to completion and then pick up the next. Otherwise, you're going to get overwhelmed and not do any of it, or your body will rebel against all this pressure and stress. The Knight of Wands is here. Wands are fire. Both Knights and Wands want motion. And Wands, usually Knights of Wands are about good news around work or positive change, activities. Can even mean travel as well. And the Chariot is here. It can also mean travel. So you may be traveling a little bit in the future. But the Knight is here to remind you to keep things moving. The Knight's thing likes things moving. And if it is a person, this is a fire sign. Can be you, just reminding you to keep it moving. This is a Leo, Aries, or a Sagittarius. Usually Knights show up when there's someone under 30, or it can be someone over 30 that's maybe a little less mature than their linear age. This does feel like it showed up to remind you to keep going. Keep going, beautiful fire sign. Just pick one thing. You don't have to do it all at once. Don't come to an abrupt stop. You know, you go Mach 10 with your hair on fire, get overwhelmed, and then put everything down. So here, this Knight is here to remind you, don't do that. Just pick one thing till it's completed. And also, if you have trouble prioritizing, let somebody else take a look at these projects. If it's a boss and you're overwhelmed with everything is urgent, hand it back to the boss and ask them to prioritize for completion for you. And that will help a little bit as well. All right, the Wheel of Fortune is here. This is it's the lucky card. It is also a 10. It pretty much is here to remind you that, you know, the luck is with you, to take a chance, take a leap of faith. So, you know, if you haven't been dating for a while, put an ad in the paper. If you need a new job, redo your resume. Start doing little bits of behavior to further you. But the Wheel of Fortune is here. It's a wonderful time to buy a lotto ticket. I can't promise it's a winner, but I always buy a lotto ticket when the Wheel of Fortune shows up. You just never know. So it does look like it's a lucky time for you to try something new. If you've always wanted to try that art class, go sign up. You know, if you've always wanted to try something, you've always wanted to get into astrology, you've always wanted to try something new, please give it a whirl. The Wheel of Fortune is here, and, you know, no matter what you put your energy into it, you usually get something positive out of it when the Wheel of Fortune shows up. To the left of that for clarity is the Chariot. This is finding your balance. This is the dark and the light. This is understanding. You have come to some epiphany. You have come to some understanding, and you are moving forward. The Chariot is here when you are moving forward, when you have kind of left the past in the past. So you're probably no longer sad about the past or anxious about the future. The Chariot shows up when you're very, very present and moving forward. So congratulations, Leo. That is wonderful. I know that's something you've been trying to achieve for a while. Pardon me, I have a tickle. The other card here to the right for clarity is the Eight of Wands. This is when all those ideas are shooting down from the heavens. You don't have to pick them all up, because that's kind of what happens when you pick them all up. So be discriminative. Pick out something that works for you, finish it to completion, and then pick the next thing. If you're having a multitude of ideas come down in your head and you want to remember them, start a project notebook or something. But it does feel like all of a sudden your creative juices are really going, in that second and third chakra are really starting to churn out great ideas. Great ideas. So that's a wonderful place for you. I know you were kind of stagnant over the last couple of months, or really trying to play catch up. So it does look like you are moving forward now, Leo. Congratulations. There are some sticky wickets that you are working out. to find your smile, but it does look with all these wands in here that you are really finding your forward motion in and resolving some of these problems. So these are, okay, it's time to do a little bit of service for others. When you are making decisions, grand decisions, think of others and how it will affect them, and also gift your knowledge and wisdom to others. You know, you do get back tenfold. That's the way it works. And the other one is despondence. So I know sometimes with this, you get a little despondent or a little overwhelmed with things. So if you need to let off stress, please do so. Take those projects one at a time and you won't be despondent. You won't be overwhelmed or confused. Just one at a time, Leo. I know you guys are great multitaskers, but it really might... Oh, this flipped out too. So creation. It looks like you're supposed to be creative too.